G'day folks, it's DIY Guy 123 here, bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Today is a very special day for me. It's the first YouTube collaboration I've done with another creator. We have Sean from Sean's Boosted Garage here, and we are going to be recessing a scissor hoist into his concrete floor. Sean, you've had the scissor hoist for how long?
Oh, like 3 years. I think I bought it from you like 3 years ago. And he lent it to me at first, and of course, as soon as he lent it to me, the first time I lifted my car up, I'm like, oh, I need to have this now. So I ended up buying it from him. So I've always wanted to set it in the floor. I don't know if you can tell in the video or not, but I got really limited access here. I don't have much ceiling height. And I've got these 2x6s down here that I have to drive the car on, and sometimes if you don't get on them right, it doesn't. I mean, I've actually driven the car off them. Like sometimes it's.
Why do you even need them? Why can't you just drive the car right over the hoist?
Oh, the car's too low.
Oh, car's too low.
Yeah, the car, like the hoist is like around 4 inches or 4.5 inches high, and the car clearance is about that too. So I could lift the car back up, but you know, who would do that, right? So so I'm just going to I just want to put the hoist in the floor. It's going to make it nice and clean looking. It'll be hidden under the floor. It also keeps from impeding any work I got to do underneath the car. So if I have to say I got to do some exhaust work or whatever, well, I can lift the car up, block it up, set the hoist back down, and maybe slide a piece of 2x4 over the hole, and now I have complete access to the bottom of the car. So I'm just trying to make sort of the best of both worlds here as best I can. I don't have room for an actual 2-post hoist, and it just doesn't make sense for this garage. So that's why I'm going this route. So Steve has graciously offered to help, and he actually has the concrete cutter that I don't have. So.
And what's your plan when the car is not here and the job is all done? What would we be looking at? Will you see the hoist, or are you going to cover it?
Oh no, it's going to be covered with a like a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and that's just for aesthetics, really. Like I don't ever envision maybe putting anything really heavy on it. Maybe if I had to pull the transmission out, I might have to have the jack in there, and it'll be sitting on the plywood, holding the transmission up. But I mean, it's also got the hoist on. I can also set the hoist up underneath the plywood, that it can actually support the plywood itself. So, you know, it's kind of, I guess it's the best I could come up with for the situation I'm in. So.
Well, that's cool. So what we've got planned now is we wanted to accurately position the hoist the best we could, optimally all around the walls, the front, the back door, space between the garage door. And we've actually got the hoist biased towards the center of the garage a little bit, just so that driver's side door can open more freely. And it also was mentioned if you need to pull an axle, you can't have the vehicle right tight to a wall. So we've done some kind of optimizing of hoist placement. And this is the final check to put the car on it. We want it closer to the center of the garage, but not so much that you scrape the car on the side of the door opening. So our next step is to get the car out of here, to get these 2x6s out of here, and then we're going to snap a chalk line around the tight to the hoist, so we know exactly where the hoist is. And we're going to snap that chalk line way further than just the hoist, because our chalk line around the hoist may get washed off through this. We might kind of walk on it and lose it. So we want to have that chalk line extend past so we could get that marking back again. And then we're going to snap a chalk line about a foot, maybe slightly even further, a perimeter all around the hoist, and that's going to be the actual cut line. So we're going to cut that out, get the concrete out of here, then we'll dig down and try not to disturb the base when we're digging. We'll only dig what we need to, so that there's no need to compact before concrete gets poured, right? So we'll be careful when we dig down as much as we need to get so that we can put in a thickness of concrete under the final floor height for the hoist. So maybe 4 or 5 inches we're going to pour, and then we'll be drilling into the sides of the existing concrete and setting rebar in with some type of rebar concrete epoxy product. And then the rebar will flow out of the existing concrete into the new concrete under the hoist and back up into the existing concrete on the other side. It's quite a project here, and we're gonna get going on it.
Great. Couldn't have said any better, Steve.
Okay, so little update. We got the car out of here. We got the 2x6 ramps out of here. We have decided this is the place where the hoist is to go. And in order to prepare to do the cut, of course, you can't cut just the size of the hole out. You need to cut out bigger than that so that when you pour new concrete, it can tie in with the old concrete. So we're gonna have a cut line here. This is gonna be original and remain. This surface, there will be concrete here, but it'll be new concrete, and then it will drop down 6 inches and run along like this. So we were very precise in our measurement of the distance out from the wall to make sure the hoist is parallel with the wall. And we took our measurements from the hoist, measured out about 12 inches, and snapped the chalk line. On this side, 12 inches, snap the chalk line, and the same thing back there. So now we're done with the hoist, and it is going to be moved out of the way, and after that we'll be cutting this floor.
All right, so what you probably just saw is a 30 or 40-second time lapse of about probably 3 or 4 hours of work. We started cutting the floor and figured the floor was only about 4 inches thick. So we did all the cuts, figured we were through, and then we started trying to break them out and couldn't get them out. So we basically cut them, we used the machine, cut down as deep as we could possibly go. Well, it turns out this floor is 6 inches thick, which is like way overkill, but hey, whatever. I guess I could, if I had known, I could just put a hoist in here had I had the garage been big enough. But anyways, we just finally got them all the cuts are done, and we finally got them all broken up. So now what we gotta do is just throw it all in the truck, and then make it sound like it's easy.
Do you want me to just take care of that for you? Or
yeah, sure. I'll let me get my white hat, and you can.
Oh, I'll have it all done before you time to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's been a big project, and we're not done yet, but I think we got the worst part done, anyways. Well, maybe not. I think this is the worst part, but at least the floor's all cut up. There's no turning back now, so.
Yeah, we're not going to fill it in.
No,
We're not going to fill it in.
no. All right, talk to you later. Okay, here's a little update. We got the hole cut, emptied out.
2 truckloads.
Two truckloads, and it was quite an undertaking, to be honest with you. I didn't imagine the floor was gonna be this thick, 6 inches thick. So, anyways, it was good that way, but it was hard for us to cut it and handle it and move it and all that stuff. So, anyway, so what we're doing now, Steve's gonna cut a trough so that for this this hoist that I have, it actually has a hydraulic pump that goes with it. That's this right here. So what I want to do is kind of take it off that cart and maybe mount it on the wall. So what's going to happen is the hoist is going to be in this hole, like once we sort of form it out and re-pour it. And then there's going to be a trough that's going to go along here. It's kind of where that 2x4 is. And we're going to lay the hydraulic hose and whatnot, the power cord and all that stuff in that trough. And I can mount the power pack to the wall here somewheres. And then that'll just help to free up a little bit of room in my garage. Of course, now I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put my toolbox, but I can worry about that. It's not that big
You
of a
won't be
deal.
tripping on your hydraulic line anymore.
Right, yeah, there's always a give and take. I won't be tripping on the hydraulic line anymore, but I'll have have to find somewhere to put my toolbox, maybe in the corner where my welder is, and then I'll have to find a place for the welder. And you know how it goes, but anyways, make do with what you got. So yeah, anyways, that's the update for now. I'm gonna get ready to cut here, and we'll come back when that's all done. Hey, Sean's Boosted Garage back here with you again today. It's actually the next day. Kind of ran out of steam last night and didn't videotape the end of it, the end of the day. But anyways, this is where we got. The hole's all cut out. You can see the slab is pretty thick. That's about 5 or 5.5 inches, depending where you measure it. And man, it was quite an undertaking there yesterday to get all that out. So, especially when you're doing it by hand. Anyways, so today, what I'm gonna do today is drill some holes along the edge there and put some rebar in. So just to help strengthen and support the new slab that's going in there. We're approximately 11 inches, 12 inches, depending where you measure, deep there right now. So I think I've determined that like what the hoist is going to sit on. I'm going to put it probably like a 5-inch thick pad, and then and I think the hoist itself is like 4 1/8 or 4 1/4 inches in height. No, sorry, 5 1/4 inches in height. And then I'm also going to make it so that when I form this in, I'm going to make a lip all the way around it. So when I'm done with the hoist, I can I'll have a piece of plywood cut that'll fit nicely over it. So that will allow me to work underneath the car too if I have to, and the hoist will never be in the way. And of course the plywood will allow me to roll a jack underneath it, say if I got to drop a transmission or something like that, or work on the exhaust or whatever. Because up until I cut this hole in the floor, if I had to do any of that kind of work, I had to block the car up at the wheels and then lower the hoist, and then like pretty much laying on top of the hoist while I'm trying to, you know, tighten the exhaust or move the exhaust or whatever. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at here today. I'll post up an update there once I get rolling. I gotta lay some poly down on the bottom, some plastic down on the bottom, and then I'll start drilling the holes and bending the rebar and epoxying them in place and all that stuff. So maybe I'll do like a time lapse. Okay, talk to you later. Okay, there's all the holes drilled for the rebar. So I for the longest part I did 17 inches on center, and I measured down 2.5 inches, which is roughly in the middle of the pad. And then on the short sides I did 16 inches on center, same thing, 2.5 inches down, and basically buried the drill bit, so it's not 6 inches, but it's pretty close. It's like 5.5 or 5.75 of an inch. So anyways, that's it for that. I'll take an air hose, blow all those holes out, and then I got some quick setting anchor epoxy. So that's my next thing. Actually, I'm gonna get I'll get the rebar fit first, because I got to do some bending to sort of follow the contour of the bottom of this hole. So so once I get that figured out, then I'll fill the holes with epoxy and put the rebar in. And next thing after that, once all the rebar is done, is making the form. And then I'm thinking this is Sunday now. I don't think it'll be till next Thursday before I'll have a day off and I can get the concrete truck here. So anyway, that's the plan. It's actually cheaper to get the concrete truck than it is to go buy a bunch of bags, believe it or not. So, and I won't have to do any of the mixing and whatnot. So that's what we're gonna do. See you for now. All right, I got one piece of rebar in. You see I was just bending it up with vise. So I got coming out and probably, I don't know, it's 6 or 7 inches for the first run that goes into the hole, and then probably another 6 or 7 going down. So then that leaves me with probably, I don't know, 3 inches or so for the bottom. Now this theoretically is going to be about 5 inches the pad, so it should be well encased in the concrete. And just the same over there. And I can get these all in, and I can just tweak them later on too. Like this here, I could probably bend it down a little bit, and of course too, I think I'll wire these together right here. And yeah, so anyways, not much to it really. I've never done this before, but I mean, I guess it's kind of straightforward. Just stringing rebar from one end to the other and understanding kind of maybe the shape that it needs to be. So anyways, I'm gonna keep on going, and I'll come back to you maybe when I get it all done, and we'll have a closer look at it. All right, last update for the night. Kind of running out of steam. I think I'll just pick it up tomorrow. Got all the holes drilled. Got rebar bent and fitted for the short side, and there's one long piece that's going to go for the long side, obviously. And yeah, so when we pick it up again tomorrow, I'm going to finish off the 3 piece of rebar for the long side, epoxy those in, and then we'll make the form, and then it'll be just time to wait for the cement, concrete, whatever you want to call it. All right, thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Well, okay, it's not the next day, it's several days later. Kind of was just trying to do a little bit after work each night, so I didn't really turn the camera on, but as you can see, we've got the form all built. And you can see the piece of rebar that are in for the long side, the long measurement of the form. So I built this form out of just kind of rough cut 2x6. The dimension is actually 6 inches deep, which is what I want. That'll put my hoist 6 inches down, so that should leave lots of room for it to go in there. Plus the 3/4 of an inch that 3/4 inch piece of plywood I'm going to use to sort of act as a cover for this whole thing. So and that's what this strip right here is for. This is I think we did 1 inch on this, so it's going to have a 1 inch. This is going to leave a 1 inch ledge all the way around, and that'll allow the plywood to sit on that. So anyways, today's the big day. The cement truck's coming here in a couple hours, and I got a guy coming to finish the cement for me. Probably could have done it myself, but I just didn't want to mess anything up. I've never really dealt with cement before, so if anything, I'll learn something from this guy, and next time I gotta do something like this, I'll feel a little more confident doing it. So anyways, that's just the update for this morning. Like I said, a couple more hours, and cement truck will be here, and away we go. Hey, back for another update. Hey, it's all done. The cement guy was here. Well, I ordered a truck. I just got 1 cubic meter. It was, for the hassle would have been to buy pre-mixed concrete bags and a mixer and all that. It was probably like another $100 to get the truck to come here. So that's what I did. I think the concrete finishing guy, and he was probably here 4 or 5 hours. It was way more work involved in doing this than I thought. He spent a lot of time just trying to make it perfect, the best he could, anyways, for the situation he had here. Of course, after he spent all that time, we came in here, and kids and my wife and I put our handprints in it just for something fun to do. Yeah, so really happy I got this done. I think it's going to make a world of difference for this hoist. I'll be able to put it in the floor. I'm going to put a piece of plywood over top of it. So I actually made a lip around the whole form, so that when the form comes out, there's gonna be like a 1-inch lip that plywood can sit on. So this trough here, he also sort of formed this trough in it once the cement started to set up. And so what's going to happen is that power pack you see right there, I'm going to mount it on that wall somehow. I'll just take the whole thing out of the cart, and I can actually just bolt that to the wall, and the cart I'll put downstairs and save it in case I ever want to sell this thing. But I'm going to mount that on the wall, and the hydraulic lines and the safety release cable is all going to run through there, through that trough. And as far as the power cable goes, and I think I got a plug under there, I could probably run it too or something. So anyways, this is I think it's going to be a great little setup here. And yeah, looking forward to using it. It'll probably be a week or two before I put something, put the hoist in there and put the car on it. So maybe I'll take the opportunity and give this thing a paint job. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll try to get some other videos out here shortly. And thanks for watching. Talk to you later.